Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Straight to Video, Hyperreal's new um, podcast concerning movies with no theatrical run. Um, we are kicking off with a bang this month. We're doing all Christmas movies to get this podcast started. Um, if you've joined us for the last 2 episodes, we talked about The Princess Switch and A Christmas Prince, um, two movies from Netflix's Christmas universe. And today we're branching out to a brand new Lifetime movie that's called The Christmas Setup. Yeah. So Christmas Setup, this is Lifetime's first gay Christmas movie, which is really significant. Um, and we thought that we should talk about it. Quick question. Did y'all see Happiest Season? Did y'all watch that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Did you?
God damn it. um, yeah, I've seen it multiple times. We can talk about it later. We're not going to talk about it on the pod. I was going to see. So several different streaming services offered up a gay Christmas movie for the first time ever this year, and was going to see if y'all wanted to do a little bit of comparing and contrasting. But since y'all haven't seen it yet, we can save that for another time.
Wait, so you've seen it? You've seen it multiple times?
Yeah. Yeah, these Christmas movies are great, man. They're like so short. You can throw them on in the background. I love Christmas movies.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about the time. I think I'm always I can't watch something in the background. I'm too like monofixated if there's something on a screen. Like I have to be paying full attention to it. So boy.
What were the other ones that came out?
So Hallmark also put out their first gay Christmas movie. It was really boring. It's called The Christmas House. And it's basically about like a gay couple trying to adopt, which is cool. That's like a really like interesting and important, I think, topic to base a movie on, but pretty boring, honestly. And Happiest Season is maddening. Oh my god. So I'm glad that we're talking about this one. This is the best of the bunch, I would have to say.
Yeah.
So a little bit of background for this movie if you haven't watched it yet, or even if you have watched it. This movie was again Lifetime's first gay Christmas movie. Premiered on December 12th, so earlier this week. And it was written by what's his name? Michael Murray. That's right, Michael Murray. So Michael Murray is like a very like seasoned Christmas movie writer, and has been trying to get a gay Christmas movie made, as I'm sure several people have been for some time now. A couple years ago, he wrote a movie called Christmas Around the Corner, which had a like a C storyline starring a gay couple, and that movie was sponsored by Chewy.com, and Chewy.com was really like happy about having a gay couple in the movie, and things just kind of snowballed. You get it? Snowballed. And
is that Chewy like the little like cereal bars?
I thought like the pet supply.
It's pet supplies.
Yeah, I love Chewy.
I can't say whether or not those things are related.
Oh.
But anyways, Lifetime decided to go full steam ahead with a gay Christmas movie this year with like a gay couple in the A storyline, which is huge. Last year, I think they had like a few B storylines with like a gay romantic plot, but nothing where the two main characters of the movie were gay. This is the first year for that. So Lifetime committed to making a gay Christmas movie. They got a whole like gay creative team behind the movie. and great, like we're talking like gay director, gay writer, gay producer. The main couple in this movie, as I'm sure we'll talk about, has been married for like 10 years, and they have like a really good rapport, and they're so cute in this movie, and honestly, like dream come true. And I think that's probably all we really need to bring to the background of this movie. Of course, the biggest stunt casting of all with this movie is Fran Drescher.
Yeah.
Truly remarkable.
What a dream. If anyone caught our interview with the writer of A Christmas Prince earlier this week, Karen was talking about how the most important thing in a Christmas movie is to cast the spirit of Christmas in the movie. And I think it's really obvious that Fran Drescher is the spirit of Christmas in this movie, and it's brilliant, and she is perfect. And oh God, I just love it so much.
You know what? My whole entire time I was watching this movie was like this. I did not stop grinning.
It's truly the sweetest.
So sweet, so cheesy. Also, speaking of 10-year relationships, they were also friends with, I believe her name's Ellen Wong, for 10 years, because the main actor who plays Patrick was in Scott Pilgrim with her.
They were both in it. Yeah, he was the other Scott, and she was Knives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she was Knives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
his husband, or not Patrick, sorry, I was talking about Hugo, but Hugo was in Scott Pilgrim, but Patrick was, I realized I know him from Parks and Rec.
Yes. He played Derek, who was Aubrey Plaza's ex, like,
I don't know. Who was.
I don't remember what the label of their relationship was, but
definitely gay. I don't know. They were like, they had an intense relationship.
Yeah. I guess let's throw down a plot summary just like real quickly in case anybody needs to get caught up. So the Christmas setup follows the story of New York lawyer Hugo, who heads home to Milwaukee with his best friend Madeline to spend the holidays with his brother Aiden and his mom Kate, who is Fran Drescher. And Fran Drescher Fran Drescher is in charge of the local Christmas celebration for her historic neighborhood. And as we're just talking about, she's basically like the spirit of Christmas and is playing matchmaker for both of her sons. So she arranges for Hugo to run into Patrick, who is his real life husband, and secret like high school crush. And he has recently returned to Milwaukee from Silicon Valley after developing a very confusing app called Cassandra and then selling it for a lot of money. And then basically Hugo has to decide whether he wants to take a promotion and move to London or move back to Milwaukee in a weird sort of like regressing way to live with his mom but also live happily ever after with Patrick. And then there's like a sort of like B plot line with like his awkward brother falling in love with Madeline,
if that's
who's his best friend.
Then the C plot is the train station.
Gotta save the train station.
Yes.
Yeah. This is like a really eventful 2 weeks for everybody in this movie. Did I kind of get the gist of the movie, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So now that we're caught up on the plot, players in the movie. So first of all, we've got Ellen Wong, who we've talked about, was Knives in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She's also in Glow,
Yeah.
um, which is awesome and sadly recently canceled. Um, Patrick, who is what's his name?
Ben, or
Yeah, it's like a Ben or a Blake or
I think he's
one of those things.
and Hugo is Ben.
Got it. Um, I don't think I know him from anything besides Parks and Rec.
He had a pretty small IMDb list from what I looked at.
Hmm. Probably because he, just gets to act 21 because he sold that app for a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Hugo is currently on Arrow, which I think is a big deal on the CW, which is about a weird like DC superhero who's like Robin Hood or something. I don't know. I don't actually know. And then of course there is Fran Drescher, who we all know and love from probably mainly The Nanny.
Yeah, I mean, Beautician and the Beast, still a great movie, but mainly The Nanny, I think.
Yeah. Quick question: is Fran Drescher's voice real?
Yeah. I did read for Beautician and the Beast that she got a voice coach to make her sound less like herself. And then she showed up on set and they were like, oh, no, no, this is why we hired you, is for
Right.
this. Please be yourself. So I do think, I'm sure she like can play it up a bit, but I think it's real.
Okay.
I mean,
I
I
wonder if it's like Werner Herzog. He admitted recently that his like Werner Herzog voice is a stage voice.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's yeah, his real voice is a stage voice. He's like a character acting his whole life. I wonder if
I
I wonder what Fran Drescher
talks
talks like when she's just like hanging with her pals.
it sounds exhausting.
Whenever she's hanging
Yeah.
out with Werner Herzog, you mean?
Man, I'd go to that party.
Oh boy. Anybody else in this movie we need to talk about?
His hot brother that doesn't seem like he would be related to him.
Yeah.
I don't think
Maybe he just had a lot of work done. I don't know how they're supposed to be brothers.
they have no brother chemistry. Very
Oof. Well, he has no chemistry with anybody in the movie.
no.
Brother doesn't. It's
Experiencing PTSD. He just returned from the military, it sounds like, and I think he's having a rough time. But
yeah.
I just know that he's Canadian. That's what he's known for.
His being Canadian.
I think that most of the people in this movie are Canadian, and that is important. Do you think this movie has a Canadian sensibility? It was filmed in Canada. This movie wasn't even like greenlit until like August of this year or something. So they filmed they filmed this very quickly in Canada.
In quarantine.
In quarantine. It's certainly helped that the romantic leads, even though they only kiss like twice in the movie, were partners already. We were just talking earlier today about how another Lifetime movie, actually multiple Lifetime movies this season, filmed stage kisses by putting plexiglass in between the leads to kiss through, and then in post they removed the plexiglass. I haven't seen any of the movies in which
I have to see.
Do they also in post like make their lips go together?
Right.
Or are they both like smushed against like a surface that has been removed? I really would love to see this.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you don't see the lips touch anyways. It's almost like the kiss is just like implied. I mean, the Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies are just like so chaste. There's just like no real lip locking on screen, you know.
Yeah, do kind of like a over the shoulder.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I did.
Went for it at the end of the movie. I'll say they went in a little hard. While Fran just taking pictures, like a million photos of them kissing. The whole time was when they were kissing, and she was taking their picture, and she just kept pressing.
That was great. It also looked like she was taking pictures of like the void. There's just like a white blob on a black screen on her phone. It's like her phone was like looking into a different, like really sad dimension.
Okay. I think that we've kind of made it through chapter 1, which is covering all the bases in terms of getting everybody caught up on the players and the plot. Are you guys ready to move on to chapter 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in chapter 2, we're filling in the blanks. Something that we always talk about is we want to get straight on where is this movie taking place? What time? What year? Do we have any clues on when this movie is actually taking place? Or is it in a sort of like nebulous now?
It has to be when someone can get rich off of a vague app and retire at 30.
Yeah.
But I don't know beyond that if there's any time clues exactly. But we're definitely in Milwaukee. That's a major kind of plot point. That Milwaukee is the small town he's returning to from New York.
They do make it seem like it's a town of like 20,000 people, which is weird.
Yeah.
They have iPhones, they have apps. So I feel like a nebulous now is probably it. Their fashion isn't so a Christmas Prince Old Navy.
Old Navy.
Oh my god.
They're not in Old Navy.
Maybe a different universe.
No, it's more like
J. Crew.
I was thinking J. Crew or like Pendletonia.
Yeah.
J. Crewia, Pendletonia.
I gotta say, I really did like his jacket with like the kind of stiff, what do you call it, like a Mandarin collar with the like blue scarf. That kind of like camel and like navy. That was there was some nice color combos going on.
The camel top coat was wonderful.
I just look of a successful man. When I see the camel coat, I'm just like,
oh yeah,
filing papers about something.
And the hair. So Hugo, Patrick, both rocking like short, tight curls, which I feel like curls have really come back in the last couple of years. So I feel like that feels like pretty right now.
Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Curls for boys.
They've got curls for boys. Yeah.
Okay.
What didn't hurt though was the fact that they were going to convert this train station into a train kiosk. And I am not sure what kiosk is. Is that something the modern people want and desire?
I also don't know what a kiosk is.
The the illustration that they used, the rendering was like, it looked like a train that sold hot dogs.
Oh.
Were they turning it into a hot dog train?
I think so.
Is kiosk a Swedish word?
Kiosk. I don't
Kiosk.
know.
I don't know. I feel like a kiosk is just a train station without walls. Like it's just it's just the platform and some signs. I don't know.
And
It
some hot
seems
dogs.
it seems like they should have been transforming it into like condos or something, and that would have been
Yes.
That's
more political. But I guess they're trying not to be political, is why it wasn't condos,
It was a train kiosk instead.
right?
It's
Kiosks
like,
are
yeah.
not political.
it's like something with the same function. It was still a building for trains. It was just a different train building.
Where you go to get out trains and a hot dog.
It was about as apolitical as you can get. Is like tearing something down to put the same thing there. I think that's yeah. There's something.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that in talking about what sorts of like incomes the characters have, we know that Patrick is well off because he sold his indescribable app called Cassandra. Hugo certainly well off. He's becoming a partner in a New York law firm. Do you think that but okay, his mother still lives in their childhood home, which is extremely nice.
Yeah.
She's a librarian. So their dad, what did their dad do?
We only know that he had a woodworking hobby. It could have been his profession, but it sounds like they've lived there forever. Maybe they bought their house in like a long time ago. Even though
It's a
from
very modern house.
It's got that like big chalkboard in the kitchen. I feel like it's like it's like something you'd see at a really upscale, like what do you call it? Like a co-op house or something.
Yeah. It's really big. Wait, did you guys happen to stop and read the chalkboard, by the way?
God, I tried to. Oh boy. I kept pressing pause on the thing and then it would black the screen out. I was quite frustrated.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was expecting it to be weirder. It's really like pretty spot on. The only thing that made me laugh was Fran Drescher scheduled December 29th as the day of returning Christmas presents. That was good.
That's nice to have a day for that.
Yeah.
We have the scene where we first are introduced to her and she's making pancakes using Christmas cookie cutters. And first of all, my first thought is, how is she going to flip these? You see her kind of clumsily pouring batter into these Christmas tree cookie cutters. But then I was so weirded out by Hugo asking her, like, wow, where did you get these? Like,
they're cookie cutters.
They're cookie cutters.
It's like anywhere. Like, I got them anywhere.
Your brother bought them back from like Munich or something. I don't know. That was such a weird interaction to me.
It's German steel.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so this movie takes place in like a sort of like nebulous lifetime now.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Is it High Christmas?
Good question.
I don't think so.
Because it's in a real place. It sets some of those high Christmas notes, like our past two movies, like The Princess Switch and A Christmas Prince. It opens with this, a very brief like Christmas is happening montage, with kind of like a low rent like Christmas song playing over it, and they kind of like pop into these different moments. So it's got like the same kind of scene set, but it is in a real place. I have to say, sorry, this is off topic, but when we were talking about Christmas Prince, we mentioned that I don't know what's his face was a character in Divergent, which I watched last night and saw him. He has about 1.5 lines in Divergent. But he's in there.
Christmas Prince? Is that who we're talking about?
The Christmas Prince.
Good for
He's yeah, he's like on the team, like doing parkour and shit.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is now the only thing I know about Divergent. So thank you.
Yeah.
I guess we do know that this takes place in the 21st century because Patrick says that Cassandra is like a 21st century version of a magic 8-ball.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Okay, so we've kind of established time and place. What other questions do you guys have about what's going on here?
About anything?
Yeah. Before we get to awards, what kind of questions do you guys have?
I feel like I had questions. I had a lot of questions in the beginning. Like Hugo, runs into his high school crush, Patrick, who's looking great. He's working at the family Christmas tree farm. He delivers.
Oh, he's looking great.
He is
Wow.
far my favorite Christmas prince.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyways, he, once Patrick finds out that Hugo is gay, he invites him for the best hot chocolate, adorable date. And Hugo goes,
Yes.
and Patrick is running a few minutes late because he's doing a Christmas tree delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo cannot seem to wait that long. I don't know how much time has passed, enough to finish or get halfway through a cup of hot chocolate. He then just violently throws the cup as Patrick is arriving and so sweetly apologizing and being like, stick around, whatever. And Hugo is just like so thwarted. And then he's really just fighting this whole, I know that they had to have some kind of conflict, but he gets back home and sees his friend and he's just like, he's just too busy. He's just too busy. And I'm like, this is just delivering a Christmas tree. He runs a Christmas farm. And I was confused about Hugo's motivations in the beginning. And also why his friend was the worst wing woman of all time by clearly playing the fact that it seemed like she was his girlfriend. She was so bad.
That was sloppy.
It was sloppy all around. I was not believable, that part to me.
I thought I'm glad you brought that part up. I was torn over my feelings about this because I mean, you're so right that up until, I wrote it down, up until 53 minutes in when he gets the call where his boss is like, you got to go to London to be a partner. Up until that point, really the only conflict that we see in this movie at all is that Hugo is like uptight, which I don't know. I mean, he seems pretty normal. He doesn't seem that uptight to me. I mean, he's just like kind of doing his thing.
Yeah, and everybody's trying to make him like be Santa Claus or
and he doesn't
do karaoke. And yeah, he does a good job. He
always does the things. It doesn't seem like he's that uptight to me.
Just like in a Princess Switch, and everyone was telling her that she was so uptight and intense, and she just did everything everyone asked her.
she literally everything. But this moment that you're talking about where he goes to get the hot chocolate and Patrick is like a couple minutes late because he's delivering something. I like paused it and thought about that moment for a while because I was thinking like, I almost feel like that's like more effective than like a kind of hijinks laden like obstacle. It feels like, I mean, I went back and forth on this, but I think where I ended up was it feels very real. Like, when you're kind of trying to meet someone for the first time and you're just like, all right, I'm taking a chance. I'm like, cracking my chest open. I'm like going to offer up my heart to someone. Like, are they going to treat it tenderly or are they going to like fuck me over? And I feel like it's such a knife's edge, like right at the top, that like something so small, like if they don't show up when they said they're going to, can be like, disastrous. So I don't know. I thought that was I couldn't tell like if the movie was doing this on purpose, but it felt like a really like astute moment to me.
I felt similarly.
I,
Yeah.
I like that interpretation of it. I guess I was anticipating maybe what they had set up originally with Patrick thinking that Hugo was in a relationship with his friend who's a woman. I thought that
Mhm.
was maybe going to be playing out as the like initial
Yeah.
like thwart them from getting together. But then we would have never had that great scene of everyone announcing whether they are gay, straight.
That was
Gay,
beautiful.
straight, single.
And I'm sad that we didn't get to see, you know, Fran was kind of hitting on Patrick's dad and we didn't get to see that play out.
I know.
It's really disappointing.
When he said, which, well,
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
I think Fran was just being Fran. I don't think that she was really hitting on him.
I think
If she had any sort of intentions, he would have been hers in a matter of seconds.
that moment. Maybe that was, we just didn't see, there was like, that didn't need to be shown. It wasn't the focus. We would have been too caught up in that love story to pay attention to Patrick and Hugo, if that played.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What other kind of questions do you guys have?
Okay, let's see.
I would like to know why Hugo was wearing a tool belt to change a light bulb.
That's a good question.
He was scaring me with that screwdriver and the light bulb. Seems
Yeah.
okay. Question. Is Mr. Carroll, who is basically the like founder, you know, for everyone who hasn't seen the film, they live on Carroll Street. This is like the main street that gets really Christmasified every Christmas. And Mr. Carroll, who like started this whole New Year's Eve tradition of everyone going to this train station where all the kids write their letters to Santa, and then this train, which is supposed to be like the last stop before the North Pole or on its way to the North Pole, like picks up all the kids' letters and leaves. And they have that office of his there, which we can talk about, but is he Santa?
Maybe he's the magic man from Princess Switch.
Because I think they made him, I think Lifetime may have set up a gay Santa for us, a secret one.
You mean like Dumbledore?
Because I think they were like, wow. They look into his office and he has all these ledgers and it's all these lists. And I felt like that was kind of a wink of like, those are his naughty or nice list. And
I'm so here for that.
And then he's gay Santa, we later find out.
Oh boy. Man, if that's gonna be a missed opportunity if they don't run with that.
And someone who I think was in cahoots with Fran's character, because she's like, I met him once, you know, and he's like this mystical, like I feel like when he passed away, he had passed on his Christmas spirit to her. And that's how she became the Christmas spirit of that town.
I love that.
That makes total sense to me. I buy it.
Okay.
I do.
Cool, because I have more questions. Did the train station get saved?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because they found out that it was that Gay Santa left it to the neighborhood association.
Okay.
And I guess the paperwork wasn't filed properly, but yeah, it got saved.
Okay. Because Fran, at one point at the like final party at the train station, she's all like, this was supposed to be the last party, but let's have my son come up here and he'll tell you what he found. And then he doesn't say anything about the train. He just is like, I love being home, never leave. I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't wrap up nicely for me with the train story. I wanted it.
I really love the kind of like secret game-changing paperwork trend that we've got going in these movies.
Yes, paperwork is such a thing in Christmas. Oh my God.
Doex paperwork.
Christmas paperwork. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. It's not a question, it's a statement. The Christmas village that Hugo builds is really shitty.
So
It's not good. Why
It's
did they
like
make
a
it better?
5-year-old made it.
glad you said that because I didn't want to be mean, but it's lacking in so much detail. I would never be able to be like, that's my house. And you can tell that Fran is kind of like, wow. Aw.
Oh my God. You did great, kid. I also I think that Fran Drescher references John Lewis. Did y'all catch that? She's like, she says you have to get in good trouble. You know that.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
that was a nice moment.
That
that
was.
was awesome.
Did you feel like the whole movie may have been improvised?
I think it's possible.
There were just so many moments that felt, maybe the editing was just a little strange, like it lingered too long, or the way that they like talked was almost it was kind of real, and it was like a little awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they made it really fast.
Yeah.
I know that they Lifetime like brought on Glad to like help produce and like make sure that everything was like cool.
That's cool.
So I bet that there was like some last minute changes and weird stuff going on.
I have a question. What stands out to y'all the most in like removing gender roles from the central romance of this movie? I feel like the feeling is so vastly different. Like to have these two men in the center of this movie rather than a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like the elimination of gender roles as like a a central construct and like something that all of these expectations and like codes and things are built on it just like changes the movie so drastically. Like I was thinking about what is it? In Princess Switch, and I recently watched what was it? What's the other baking movie? Shit. I don't know. It's not Bridget Jones, but it is that one. Where wait, no, I don't know. Anyways, where at the end of the movie, the woman is like, the prince is like, you could just move your bakery to Belgravia or whatever, and she's like, okay, yes, I will do that. But in this one, he's got like a real struggle about whether he's going to like move to Chicago to pursue his career, and like it feels like he's really grappling with that, and like I feel like that question wouldn't play out in that way if that was a woman making that decision.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. What is interesting though is that I think in most of, like, there's still the archetypes are kind of similar, where there's someone, and it's usually the woman, who is uptight, values career too much, and needs to be like swept away by the homegrown man who gonna like help her loosen up a bit. And that like sort of happens here in a way.
Yeah.
That dichotomy just seems to be so popular in, I guess, rom-coms in general, but especially it seems like Christmas romantic films.
Yeah. So does it, with those archetypes in mind, like does it land different for y'all to have the kind of gender role thing erased?
I guess it feels like it's more so two people like autonomously making decisions about their lives.
Mhm.
And he's also like Patrick is very supportive um of Hugo like getting this amazing job opportunity, and is very much like, okay, no, I'm not going to continue with this to try and like win you over. This is hard for me, like you know, good luck with your life.
Yeah.
I do think that if this was a traditional, you know, heteronormative storyline, the male character wouldn't give up until he has like persuaded her.
Hmm.
Right.
Feel more like, oh, this is the inevitable ending of the film, is that she's going to give that up. And I didn't feel like that was for sure going to happen here, because you hear Hugo talk to his brother, who's going to maintain a long distance relationship, potentially from Indianapolis, with his friend. And so I'm thinking like, oh, maybe he's contemplating just staying in New York and working and like maintaining a relationship with Patrick in Milwaukee, so that they can both, you know, he can still have his career there. And so, yeah, I didn't think about that until you brought that up, David, and how my assumptions were changed in this movie.
Yeah, I think that's I like that framing of it, that it didn't, because to me also, it didn't feel like a sure thing. Like I wasn't sure. I mean, felt like they were going to end up together in the end, because it's a, Christmas movie, but I didn't know like what the arrangement was going to be.
Yeah, I felt like whatever it was going to be fair to both of them.
Yeah.
I think it's because like neither one of them is like the prize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of see both of each other as the prize. And I guess that does happen in a way, but it does feel shifted, maybe just from the weight of history and how we experience movies with like a woman, and we just feel like, oh, well, we're supposed to see her as the prize. Yeah, that's interesting. I have questions about the caroling hats that they wear. Is that a thing? Have you caroled before?
It's like
carols?
it's like this hat. Oh, I can't even point to it. It's like the hat right here.
Yeah. I mean, David and I used to fill 3 liters up with Franzia and go Christmas caroling around our neighborhood.
That's true.
But we didn't wear silly hats.
No, and we did it in the summer too.
So that was made up for this movie. That's not a traditional caroling thing.
Well, I think that costume caroling is a thing. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen Bad Moms Christmas. That's the most recent example that comes to mind.
Haven't.
Oh, you should. You should see it.
I
can. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I did have a nice moment in that scene though. I feel like there's so many just like simple pleasures in this movie, like when Hugo puts that top hat on and Patrick Ryan just turns around to him and like looks at him with just sparkling aberration in his eyes and says,
"Oh, his eyes! Oh my god!"
He says, "You look adorable." And I was just like, "Oh my god, I love to hear it."
Saying it to me, and I just melted.
Oh my god!
It was fantastic.
So good. Okay, please tell me if my head was in the gutter here, but I felt like there were a few jokes that were okay. Like when they first.
There's so many double entendres.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like they talk about
yes,
the bottom when they're like.
It was weird too, because they don't wink about it. Like they don't deliver the lines as jokes. Like it seems like they're written as jokes, but not delivered that way.
I bet that was intentional, because they were like, we can't go too far with this one. This is the first one that we're doing.
Yeah.
You can't start making jokes about you being a bottom in this life. movie, but it really felt that way. There were just some moments where they lingered on the word, like, can you pass me the balls on the shelf?
Yeah. Oh
And
boy.
like, oh, just, yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool.
No, I think you're totally right about that.
Okay.
That's most of my questions, I think.
I think most of my questions concern Cassandra, which is the app that Patrick invented. Let me just read you some dialogue concerning Cassandra. This is Patrick. She's like a 21st century version of a magic 8-ball. You can ask her anything about your future, and she will give you an answer. She uses statistical models to predict the chances of anything happening. Hugo, but you can't really predict the future. Patrick, numbers never lie. The kids mostly ask about falling in love. Love is chemistry. Chemistry is numbers, and that's where Cassandra excels.
Like they've replaced, in romantic films, the male like lead was always like an architect, like the person that you're supposed to find dreamy. That was like the main job, and now they're app developers. You know what I mean?
But okay, so what does Cassandra do? I don't even get it. Like, it tells him when he can see the northern lights in Milwaukee.
I think it's like minority.
But mainly it tells high schoolers whether or not they'll fall in love with somebody.
Well, that's apparently how people use it most, but I really do think it's the same technology as Minority Report, where you predict any sequence of events. Yeah, he has like in his Milwaukee basement, like 3 naked cogs who are just predicting.
Oh my God.
That's where Cassandra comes from, I bet. Or it's just
that's Cassandra is one of their names.
Maybe it's just one cog, a precog, and her name is Cassandra.
Oh my God.
In his basement, connected to Christmas trees or something, and she's
fucking dark,
predicting the future, like when the northern lights will be visible from Milwaukee, or whatever they use the app for.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
I just think that the app, I really want it to exist. It sounds just so dangerous, and I was expecting him to use it for their love story, where he was going to be like, Cassandra knew all along you were going to be in my life, or whatever.
But isn't that like okay, so first of all, Cassandra is a great app name.
Yeah.
Second of all, Cassandra is like, from Greek mythology, is like the woman who predicted the future and nobody listened and everybody died. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I think that you're really right on. Like, this is definitely in the same universe as Minority Report.
It has to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's such a bizarre app.
Okay, so here's the other thing that we have to talk about. Probably the most important facet of Cassandra's knowledge in this movie is that it determines that Hugo's favorite food is Italian subs.
Oh, yeah.
That's the dumbest food I can think of. I can't believe it.
Also, like a very.
It's so unromantic. Like, who the fuck wants to eat like Italian subs and potato salad before like trying to bone? It's such a bad idea. It's
on every date. I can't wait.
It's the weirdest choice. I don't understand.
Was that he was a lawyer from
working late hours.
That's a lot. What could he eat?
Oh man, maybe what that means is that Patrick Ryan had way more information about Hugo than what he was revealing.
I think he made that very clear because he knew he knew, like his father knew that Hugo was on the debate team and they went to state. Why would his father know that about a classmate that was 2 years younger than him? They never interacted with.
That is really weird.
I don't know. He had to feed in a lot of info to get that Italian sub hit.
It's just so funny because like Hugo was like, "Oh, you asked my mom," and he's like, "No, I asked Cassandra."
Wait, so did Hugo though confirmed that his favorite food was Italian subs?
Yes. How did you know? I love this.
How did you know? Oh my god.
I don't. What other questions?
At least it wasn't a Coney Island sloppy boy or whatever. What was it?
Fuck, dude. Sloppy boy?
It was.
And the sand.
A blonde with sand.
Yeah.
And a
Coney Island Greyhound. That's what it was.
Greyhound. Yeah.
Italian sub.
Princess.
Sloppy boys.
No, that was a Christmas Prince. Princess Sweat. Christmas Prince.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was confused by the yearbook shots where Patrick looked the same. I think you're right though that Cassandra was probably the biggest question for me as well after Train Kiosk and what that is.
I just feel like Cassandra was like so like kind of like half-assed. Like I think it was a cool idea to like put it in the movie, but it doesn't have any sort of bearing on the plot except for figuring out Italian subs and the Northern Lights.
To make him seem really successful. I think otherwise we would have seen him like, oh, he was this guy that peaked in high school and he is now just working at his dad's Christmas tree lot once a year and like didn't really. I think they wanted us to see him as like equally as successful as by having this like app that allowed him to retire. Or it was just, then it also set up his hate for lawyers. And they had a cute little lawyer.
Oh my god!
Sat on the roof.
Lawyer jokes. I can't believe I'm stuck on a roof with a lawyer. What a nightmare.
Yeah.
What other questions do you guys have? Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think that's all, man.
Can we take a break for a minute or two before we move on?
Sure.
Let's do it. A word from our sponsors.
Chewy.com. All right. Chewy.com. That's a very pertinent sponsor. And, you know, I'm just really thankful for our relationship with Chewy.com. So moving on to chapter 3. It was the best of lines. It was the worst of lines. What line of dialogue in this movie is the most straight to streaming?
I think
What do you guys think?
I feel as if we may have all written this line down.
I think we all wrote 2 lines down.
Should we all try and say it at the same time?
Yes, definitely. Okay, so let's say the one that chronologically in the movie comes first.
I don't know about this other one. I wrote one down.
You wrote one down? Oh, well, you're gonna. Oh, maybe this is just me, but I think I know. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Ready? There are
times when being a straight guy feels exceptionally boring. Oh boy, truly. That's got to be the winner.
You feel that way?
Do I feel that way? I do. It's such a sad line. I'm
I love it.
but it's real. And I don't know, this movie was good. I like that line landed. It wasn't like awkward. It was just like funny because it was like real. Frank is just the audience surrogate, you know.
Yeah.
That's true.
They did. They did earn that line. They got that in there. I gotta propose. I feel like this is a close contender. To set up this scene. It's when Patrick Ryan is telling Hugo about his app, or when they're kind of like having their first talk, and he's like talking about high school and like, and this other one is almost as good. He says, "I moved out to San Francisco. That's where I fell in love with writing code. After my success, I knew I wanted to give back somehow." This thing is so there's no orphans in this movie, but there might as well be. And he says, he goes like, "Yeah, well, you were Mr. Popular," and he says, "Mr. Popular was also Mr. Lonely."
Oh.
So I thought was pretty prime.
How is Patrick giving back in this movie? I'm a little bit confused about that. Because he
all of their proceeds were donated to charity, I feel like he said, of
his
the
proceeds from
Christmas trees
that he has, like, that's a lot of proceeds.
He seems to help out a lot in the community.
He sure is at Hugo's house a lot.
Yeah. He's doing his best.
Okay. I'll accept that. Okay, what other contenders for best line do we have?
I think this is like a collection that I feel like shows up in movies kind of in this range a lot. There's just a line like anything that starts with like "about last night" or like, "Yeah, I'm sorry for what I said back there," or my favorite, "Come on, I want to show you something."
Oh my god.
Have to be said. We should start tallying those.
Yeah. I love that they're just sprinkled through like little treats. Come on, I want to show you something. I was thinking this when I was watching this movie. I was like, someone has never said to me, "Come on, I want to show you something," and I feel like I'm really missing out.
I'm gonna start.
David, I will do that.
It would mean a lot.
Every time I see you guys from now on, I'm gonna show you something. I can't wait. I need to think of things to show you.
Okay, other contenders. I mean, I think that the whole like speech about Cassandra is great. It's so weird.
Yeah.
My eyes rolled out of my head when Patrick said, "I don't have to ask Santa for anything this year. I already got it."
Oh man. Just across the floor.
I love that.
Jenni,
actually,
like that line.
Okay, I also, when they're playing Christmas trivia, someone asks, "What do we get if we win?" And Fran Drescher screams out, "Lap dance."
No, she says bupkis.
No, she says lap dance.
No, she says bupkis.
She says lap dance. I don't know.
Your reality more than mine.
Yeah.
Mine is right.
Okay.
That's Fran Drescher saying, "Come on, I want to show you something."
Wait.
She's gonna show him bupkis though.
Fine. Okay. I guess this is just the part of the episode where I'm wrong about something. Okay. My other contender, which we've already really talked about, is how did you know that subs are my favorite?
Or he said so.
But I think that you guys are right. I think it's Frank who's like got 2 lines, and one of them is what is it? Can you guys say it together at the same time again?
Oh yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
There are times.
There are times when being a straight guy feels exceptionally boring.
Why couldn't we sync on that?
Did you guys practice that?
I was like, oh shit, never mind. Man, don't you hate it when you can't remember something?
Yes. That's right now. Remember the name of the train movie that Tom Hanks' CGI body is in.
Polar Express.
Ugh. Right.
Do we need to talk about montages, or did this movie not have a significant one?
No montages except the game night is kind of like a slow-mo game. It's not a real montage.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Sad. This movie could have really used a montage. It's so talky.
I thought there'd be a montage for when they spruce up the train station to be more Christmassy. Instead, we do see Patrick and Hugo decorate that tree. It looks so bad to me.
And then they talk about how the tree is a drag queen.
They said that.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's the scene when they're like, it's made for our people because it's like Christmas trees. They're like in drag or something, which I thought was pretty cute. But
yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
I don't. This isn't really. I think this is a category where this fits the best, and I did want to mention this. It's not exactly a straight to streaming line, but it was a line that I thought was so nice, which was when Hugo is singing, and there's this like beautiful moment where, I mean, everyone, like, as soon as you hear him start singing that song, you're like, oh, there's that line about make the Yuletide gay, and so you're just like waiting for him to say it, and there's this, like, when he sings that line, he like kind of gives like a shrug and like a wink to the audience, and like everyone like cheers and laughs. And I just thought, I loved that moment. I was like, this is what it's like to be in a room full of people who are all on the same page and are like sharing just like a small, like, funny wink together. And I like, out of any moment in this movie, that was the moment that made me miss, like, being in a room full of people doing something together the most. I thought that was such a great moment, like, captured so well.
It was so tender and so natural too.
Yeah.
Like, the way that this movie handles being a gay man is like, honestly, I was like shocked at how well it does it. I don't know, they didn't like try to squeeze any drama out of it. Like, they just set up like a really like tender, loving fantasy scenario.
Yeah.
And oh man,
that was great.
Yeah, that moment got me. Really did.
I teared up then as well. And then later, when I learned after watching the movie that they are in fact a couple and married in real life, I would just sat there shocked for like 10 minutes. Just in bliss. I was like, oh, you know how you want to know how a story keeps on going?
Wow.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Jenni, that was so sweet. Yeah, this movie got me. like I know that part of this podcast is kind of like talking about the weird plot holes that inevitably open up in the construction of a short and hurriedly produced movie. But like, dang, this movie got me. I watched it probably like 3 times this week, and it's just like,
It's really good. It just
really is. You just feel like the love of like the whole production.
it's cheesy in all the best ways. It just hits all the notes of the type of Christmas romance, easy to watch movie that you like. This is exactly what you want when you're turning on Lifetime during Christmas. Is this movie?
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it.
Okay. Let's move on to the next award, which is straight to streaming, which performer delivers the best big picture performance or best movie star performance?
I think it's got to be Fran Drescher, right?
Oof. It's tough.
Who else gives a big performance in this?
I mean, we definitely see Hugo emote a lot and like, but it's just when Fran's on screen, she lights up a room. I can't.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believed her the way that she was like talking to him as her son and holding him and being proud of him felt so natural to me. Like I was like, this is how she would treat her children. This is how I want to be treated by her. I believed her, and she wins it for me.
Yeah.
I'm going with Fran. Fran's Dan.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, no contest really. Yeah, we showed up for Fran, and Fran brought the goods. I mean,
yeah, she really did.
I'm almost surprised her name isn't Fran in the movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Next award, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Which character are you bringing to Friendsgiving dinner from this movie?
Did you just say Friendsgiving dinner?
Oh my God, did I? Must have been a Freudian slip.
I mean, I feel like we have to remove Fran from this because she's gonna win everything. Like, who wouldn't want her for Thanksgiving dinner, right?
I think it depends on your family. She's kind of a controversial figure. I mean, she gets arrested.
That's true.
My
mom still
is
like,
very pushy.
The voice, that's like what she's known for. My hope.
Yeah. I mean, I almost feel like I might bring Patrick. I mean, he makes a mean Italian sub.
Oh my God. He made the cookies too. He was
that Patrick is good with parents.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I would bring Madeline. I feel like she failed at like her first kind of outing as a wingman, but immediately after that, I mean, she was just cruising the whole rest of the time. I mean, she was like a great friend. She's so supportive. She was like also great with parents.
Totally.
I feel like she's one of those people that is just going to be like selfless to kind of like keep a room just humming along. Like I'm definitely going Madeline.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Right. I am curious about, I would maybe say Mr. Carroll because I think that my dad would be like, tell me about
trains.
Talk about trains. And I just have a lot of questions for him. Especially if
I love that.
I mean,
I do think that Madeline gives the funniest line in the movie when she's like, they're talking about taking Patrick's gloves back, and she's like, his hands are cold. Help! Help!
I wrote that down too.
So
I
funny.
This movie feeling improvised, like the way that she said that, and that it felt like a joke that you would just say in real life that no one would
Yeah,
write down, because it's like not over the top funny, it's just air space filling funny.
that's so true.
So true. Yeah, I love that.
Ugh.
Okay. So it seems like we all maybe have different answers, or there's a lot of good answers, and that's maybe why this movie is awesome. It's because there's lots of people you'd bring to Friendsgiving dinner.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Last award. It's not technically a award, but it's a new category for us, and it's called retail therapy. And so I want to talk about what piece of merch would you buy from this movie? What is your dream merch related to this movie?
I would love for them to have set up a promotional Cassandra app for this film.
Ooh,
Wow, that's so
really
good.
Yeah, that's my vote.
Damn.
Or a snow globe. That'd be cute. And it's just that in there.
Boy, I would love to use that Cassandra app. I think mine, I, uh, I would love to have a private Christmas party in an old train station.
That's quite a bit of merch, David.
Can I have that as my merch?
Station you want as merch.
Yeah, I think if we're like auctioning off stuff from the movie, that's a thing that could happen at a
Yeah.
benefit.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's mine. I really want that, honestly.
You just want to spend a night at a train station? That's what he said, right?
No, I want a whole Christmas party. I want a Christmas party at an old historic train station.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd love that for you.
Hmm.
What about you, Tom?
I want to buy, this is hard. I think that I want to go to Jimmy John's and get a Christmas setup sub.
Oh my God.
That might be the most reasonable tie-in.
Yeah, that seems like the most doable of the merch.
Like if that was real, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Maybe our sponsors
at Chewy.com,
Chewy.com can get us a meeting.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
I'm surprised there were no animals in this movie. Speaking of Chewy.com.
That would have been too much for them.
Yeah, there was already plenty of stuff happening. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just like while we're at it, why weren't there puppies? I don't know. Okay. I think it's time to move on to chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Fourth and final chapter.
Can you pause 1 second?
Yeah.
I just want to see something really quick.
Yeah.
Chewy.com. Oh, boy.
Okay. Maybe that's not. Oh, damn.
The writer of this movie also wrote a movie called Desperately Seeking Santa.
Ooh.
Yeah. He also wrote unauthorized biopics concerning Madonna and Michael Jordan.
Unauthorized? Wow.
I mean, it seemingly, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't find it. It's fine.
Okay. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, chapter 4. Time to play some games. So first up, we have got 23andMe. In this game, we're each going to propose 2 movies that this film is absolutely indebted to, and then we're going to vote to determine what the lineage of this movie is. So we're kind of trying to determine this movie's DNA. Anybody like stoked to go first?
No, this was hard. This one was hard for me.
It was for me too.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go first. Okay. Number 1, Balto.
Elaborate.
I don't know when the last time you watched Balto was, but to me, the scene that always sticks with me is when Balto, who's a very hot dog. We talked about hot dogs earlier. They're just like a very, in this case, a very like sexy sled dog. Shows this movie is like damn, how do you explain this movie? It's based on a true story, but it's an animated movie concerning a mutt who steps in to save some people and win the Iditarod race up in the like near the Arctic Circle. But Balto is a very sexy dog, and at one point in the movie shows the romantic lead, which is a sexy lady dog, the Northern Lights, which I think he basically creates with beer bottles underneath a house.
Okay.
That's all I got. But it made a big impression on me, and clearly a big impression on this movie. I did look it up, and apparently you can theoretically see the Northern Lights from Milwaukee like maybe one day a year. As I was watching this movie, I was like, "There's no fucking way," but apparently it's possible.
I wonder if that's how they picked the location of this movie. There are 2 things. There's the Northern Lights, and then he had to be able to be a lawyer from New York. I don't know if that shit is real or not, but Fran Drescher like pops out that like weird like lawyer magic.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they like plugged everything into a matrix, and they're like, what city has?
No, that felt like a small town vibe.
You mean they plugged it into Cassandra?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely did that.
This movie.
Okay, so my first pick is Balto, and my second pick, I think, is oh man, it's so hard. I'm gonna say The Station Agent, starring Peter Dinklage as a model train obsessive.
Yeah.
Really, just like really like touching, brave indie from early 2000s. Love that movie. It was great. Shout out to The Station Agent. Balto, Station Agent. Those are my picks.
David, do you want to go next?
I don't know. I may only have one for this one. I think it was hard. I think, like I said at the beginning of our kind of run on these movies, I haven't seen a lot of these like Christmas like Lifetime movies. So I have a hard time kind of pinpointing. I mean, I feel like this is probably mostly indebted to like the run of Lifetime movies and kind of, a shot in the arm by folks looking to, broaden their storytelling, like representation. So I think I don't know. I mean, my first 23 and Me is definitely like I don't know, studio execs kind of, trying to like tell relevant stories and like reach new audiences. But I think my other one, maybe Her. I think like a Cassandra.
I thought about that.
A Cassandra like app thing. I feel like it was very Her reminiscent, kind of like. I mean, you can tell that Patrick Ryan has a relationship with Cassandra that isn't really fully explained or explored, but he certainly talks about her like as a friend or like an entity in his life. So yeah, Her.
Okay, so you had one choice, which is Her.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I pick your other one?
Yeah, please.
I think it has to be The Nanny, right?
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Fran Drescher is just like clearly like stunt casted as, America's nanny sweetheart.
Yeah.
So let's throw that in there.
All right.
Okay.
On that note, one of my two is Beautician and the Beast, which is the Fran Drescher film where she is also a nanny, but she is like a nanny for a royal family in
a dictator, right?
In Russia or somewhere that's similar to Russia, that's made up, a Belgravia situation.
Yeah. But
I do remember she has to like throw a big party at the end of it, like a grand ball. And so that reminds me quite a bit of this. She also plays matchmaker for Two Young Loves in that film.
Ooh.
The daughter of the dictator who is in love with the head of the like rebel underground youth army.
Mm-hmm.
And so she like goes to this cool like Berlin type club and helps her, run away with him a little bit. So I think with the mixture of her matchmaking and party planning, that movie feels like a reference, or was at least watched by Pat Miller, the writer. And then my other one I just added from our conversation is Minority Report. Because
oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously. Okay. Voting.
Tanner, what were your two? Balto and
The Station Agent.
Station Agent.
Again, the rules of the game, you can't vote for your own choices. You have to vote for other people's choices just to keep things fair. So I'll go first. I'm going to say, this is tough. These are all really bad choices. I'm gonna go for Minority Report. I was kidding about bad choices. This is dead on. Minority Report is absolutely a major antecedent to this movie. And then I would also say Her. Yeah. I mean, this is really strong sci-fi fare, and obviously Her predated this movie by several years. Still relevant.
Hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
I'm also going with Her, and I really like this idea of the sexy dog. So Balto.
I gotta go with Balto also. That's I don't know. I feel like the specificity with which you presented that case is just undeniable. And I haven't seen Beautician and the Beast, but I think from what you're describing, that seems right on. So I'm going with Balto and Beautician and the Beast.
All right. Well, I think that we really nailed this. I mean, this movie is, as you know, 33% Spike Jonze is her, 33% the movie Balto, based on a true story, as this movie is. It is also 16% Minority Report and 16% Beautician and the Beast.
That scene where they have to hide in the icy tub to keep the spiders from plucking their eyeballs out. Oof.
I mean, you can really, you're watching this movie, you can just imagine the elevator pitch. Like, okay, I've got something. I know you're gonna love it. It's her. It's Balto. It's Beautician and the Beast. It's Minority Report.
What more do you need?
Where do I sign my check? Okay, and our second and final game for the night, we're going to do a fantasy draft where we pick elements or characters from this movie to cast into a dream sequel of ours. How do we want to decide who goes first?
I've got a game pitch.
Yay!
My game pitch is whoever comes up with the best Christmas cocktail name.
Oh my god!
Gets to go first.
I love it.
So the ones from the movie, from that, might I say, truly remarkable pop-up party, were Prancer's Punch, Gin and Comet, and Rum Rum Rudolph.
Rum Rum Rudolph is like, so I hate rum. I would order that in a second. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a sort of Greyhound situation. It looked really refreshing.
It looked real good.
Yeah.
I promised I didn't think of this ahead of time. I just thought of one, so I'm gonna go first. Thank you. I promise. It's not that good, but it's good. Mine is a cold fashioned.
Ugh. That's good.
I think it's pretty good. I would drink that.
Wow. This is tough. On the spot. I wish I would have known ahead of time. I would have got something great.
Oh my god. I forgot all drink names. I can't think of a single drink name. Damn, this used to be Nico's job.
Oh shit.
Every night.
Rum Rum Rudolph.
I know
that's oh boy. That's a hard game. I'll admit that.
Play on Sex on the Beach, but with like snow. I don't know.
Sex in the Snow.
Sex on the Snow. Well, that's stupid. I hate it. Oh, margaritas, martinis, punch, Santa, elves, jingle bells, snowballs. I can't think of anything. David, you win by default for having the hardest game ever.
That was a hard game. Any last minute bids?
Fran. Damn it.
The Fran plan.
I mean, I want to make a drink that's like an Italian sub and potato salad. So I'm going. So there'll be. It's Italian, so there'll be Campari. Potato vodka.
Okay.
Oh.
So Campari and vodka. And then the salad will be a couple of sprigs of mint.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what's that one called?
My drink. It's called
The Christmas.
it's called Hugo's Picnic.
That's not bad.
Thanks.
Okay.
I think that would be decent actually as a drink.
That sounds drinkable.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, you get second, I get last.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I think that's totally fair. Okay, so as always, we're doing a snake draft. So David's going to go first. None of us can pick the same characters or elements from the movie. So David goes first. I'll go second. Jenni's going to go third. And because it's a snake draft, Jenni is going to also go fourth, and then I'll go fifth. David will go sixth and seventh. And then I'll go eighth, and then Jenni will go ninth.
Okay. I think I'm gonna stick with my Friendsgiving pick and start with Madeline. I think there's a lot. Well, I'll keep a lid on it for now, but I'm picking Madeline.
Interesting. With the second pick, I'm going to already win the game by picking Fran Drescher.
I can't believe you didn't get Fran, David. You did not deserve to go.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to me. And I'm sorry to everybody else. And Jenni's up next.
Okay. Part of me wants cousin Jimmy, but I do think I'm gonna go with Patrick.
Patrick Ryan.
Yeah, great pick.
Dream of dreams.
Dream of dreams. Second pick, Patrick's picnic.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
right.
Patrick's picnic, just to recap, Italian subs,
Yes. So it was like
potato salad.
potato salad.
At a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah. And no reason given for potato salad. I don't know if Cassandra also picked potato salad. If so, Cassandra is a terrible app, and good for him for selling it. It's a horrible date compliment to an Italian sub. And then third, chocolate and cherry cookies. Homemade. Sounds great. Very into that.
The whole picnic is the food and the ambience of the Christmas tree farm.
Yeah, I think that's great. So for my next pick, I am going to pick Cassandra, the app.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Just have to. It's still on the table.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. David, up next. What do you got?
My second pick is going to be New York. As a kind of city character, I think.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. And what else is there? I think I'm gonna pick Hugo. I think I'm gonna have Hugo and Madeline and New York.
I can totally see that. Is this going to be a prequel?
Yeah, what's your movie?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
it
I've got
seems like
3 of mine
Hugo
now.
is moving back to Milwaukee and Madeline is staying in New York.
Yeah, so
What do you got?
I'm kind of envisioning like a, I don't know, like an inverse of this movie. Like Hugo comes to visit New York for 2 weeks and is Madeline's wingman, and she kind of takes center stage and like has her adventures. And fucking Aiden's out of the picture. He's terrible. He's so boring. Madeline could do so much better than that. But she's gonna have some adventures. She seems wild. And I think Hugo, I think I don't know. I would watch the movie.
Okay. I'd watch your movie.
This is good. Okay. So for my first 2 picks, I picked Fran Drescher and also the app Cassandra.
Mhm.
Um, for my final pick, I'm gonna pick Lifetime.
So you have Fran Drescher,
Yes.
Cassandra,
Yes.
and Lifetime.
What would
Correct.
a Lifetime movie be about with Fran and Cassandra?
Well, I really want a really low budget. I think that's really important to me. But I'm imagining. Here's what I'm thinking. It's the movie Her. And Cassandra steals Fran Drescher's man from her. But Fran Drescher wins it back with her wiles.
Of course she is.
All right.
Sign me up. I'm watching that.
Yeah. Fran defeats Computer Woman.
Cyber Christmas Warriors.
Exactly. Yeah. It's called Cyber Christmas Warriors. And Fran Drescher defeats the app.
I love Tanner.
That's what I got.
Wow.
My first pick was Patrick. My second pick was Patrick's pick. My third pick is that very tall top hat. So, let me tell you my movie.
I cannot wait to hear this.
Well, it's actually a home movie, and I will be wearing this top hat while Patrick spoon feeds me potato salad sub sandwiches and tells me I look adorable.
That's really precious.
It's for my eyes only. Not
Oh, I think you're gonna have to share that.
That's technically allowed. Yeah.
I could upload it to some sites, I guess.
That sounds really nice for you.
I know.
Well, as always,
Love
Jenni wins. From the mind that brought you Dark Flubber.
Oh my god, Dark Flubber.
That is what I'm known for.
Oh my god. Wait, is that your Instagram handle yet?
I'll change it after this.
Oh my god. Well, what a great episode, you guys. If you haven't seen the Christmas setup and you just listened to this 2-hour-long podcast, I don't know what's up with your life, but you should go watch the Christmas setup. It was really great. I'm here to say it. Best gay Christmas movie of 2020 and probably ever. We loved it. I can't wait to watch it every year, just like I watch Nancy Meyer's The Holiday every year. It's a new tradition. And Thank you as always to Dave McMichael and Jenny K for being my co-hosts. This has been Straight to Video. Stay tuned for something super dope. I don't know. Okay. Stay safe out there. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys.
You guys.
Love you.